years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Wow, a Tuesday afternoon in New Orleans. Summertime continues. It's hot out there. It really is. Some nights walking the dog, totally like 7:45, 8 at night. There's like a breeze blowing. Yesterday, had a little breeze coming out of the south, but still a breeze. Sometimes it's just no breeze and just high humidity. Brutal. Like, can't wait to get back inside in the air conditioning.
Jane, his wife.
Hey, where's Drew Brees? Number 9, please. There he is, telling us where we are. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Let's do it on a Tuesday afternoon. 2 big hours coming your way. A lot on the plate. New Orleans City Councilman, leading candidate to be the next mayor of the city of New Orleans. If you like that, you don't like that, same old thing, giving a guy second chance, whatever. We bring him on the program often, Oliver Thomas. We'll talk about a lot of stuff, including if he's going to run for mayor. I'm sure we're going to get the same story. But not a no, not a no. I don't think we'll get a yes. I don't think we'll get an official yes or an unofficial yes. I doubt we'll have breaking news about Oliver Thomas deciding he's running for mayor on this program in 10 minutes. But you never know. But I don't think we're going to get a no because Oliver Thomas is running for the mayor of City of New Orleans unless some unforeseen things pop up. Helena Moreno most likely will get in that race. Maybe Judge Arthur Hunter. Maybe Royce Duplessis. We'll see. And then you'll have, people like, I'm not running, but someone like me. Kind of that middle group. And then you'll have the tail end group like, the Lyndon LaRouche running for president. Just folks that jump in the race. Who was the guy? Something Chevrolet or something. Used to run all the time. Quentin, what's his name? The landscape guy always running. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Huh. What we got over here? Smoothie King Cup. A Smoothie King Cup on the TV studio set. Somebody told me, it's like, Corey, you look like you're in a NASCAR. You need the zip suit that the NASCAR drivers wear with all the logos on there. I know, like PGA Golf, something. I hear you. Anyway, you see the Smoothie King Cup? I am in Smoothie King on Jefferson Highway across from Ochsner 10 times a week or more, twice a day. I got to get a little protein. I get the vanilla Gladiator. I just get the small. I get strawberries and bananas. I've kind of been weaning off of I used to get the angel food with the turbinado, the non-dairy milk or the non-fat milk. And then I was like, I probably don't need the dairy. Some folks do. I'm not anti-dairy. I was like, I don't need it. Probably don't need the turbinado, the sugar, but I like sugar. I like sweet. So I was doing that for a while. And then I was like, the sweet strawberries are probably enough. You can get sweetened strawberries or unsweetened. And the Gladiator has 2 scoops of strawberries. So now I'm like, can I get one sweetened and one unsweetened? And I don't get the turbinado. So I've been weaning off of the sugar. And the smoothie's still fantastic. Like, I look forward to it. It tastes great. And I'm knocking back like 45 grams of protein. There's all kind of things you can add, like immune builder if you're feeling sick, those kind of things. I'll be talking more about Smoothie King. There are 2 Smoothie Kings I go to. They're right by my house. I'm in the kind of River Bend, Carrollton, right by the Lowe's, by the Parish Line, Orleans, Jefferson, Carrollton, Holly Grove, Sewage and Water Board, River Bend, Carrollton neighborhood. Right there by Southport Hall, River Road, the end of Oak Street. Right in there, River Road, Claiborne's. So to beeline down River Road and go up, what is that President Street I go up? Oh, boy, I forget. One of those, they were not right past Jules. I don't know, is it Humphrey? I forget. I go up one of these President Streets. I get to Jefferson Highway. Right there is Jay, is the owner, Jay's Smoothie King. And then sometimes I go to the old Metairie location. That's LaBar at Airline by the Rouses. LaBar Airline at Causeway, right by the Rouses in that shopping center. I call it like the old Metairie Smoothie King. That's another one of Jay and his dad, Smoothie King. They've been owning these things for Smoothie King franchisees for decades and decades. They're pros. No, I like their staff. I like their people. They tolerate me. Can I get, no turbinado? Okay, let's switch to this one. Can I get half sweet strawberry, half not? No problem. I walk in there like, hey, Corey, they know me because I'm in there so often. No, they'll take care of you too. I'm at the Smoothie King in the morning. I'll probably get one after the show. Sometimes I get one before the show. I'll get one after the show. So if you're in that neighborhood a little after 6, I'm signing autographs at the Smoothie King, Jefferson Highway across from the Ashton Hospital. I've got some 8x11 glossies. I've got on my Cox Channel 4 windbreaker. The collar's jacked up. They're black and whites. I'm signing them with the Sharpie. They're going to be worth something on eBay. Never. All right. Anyway, I'm not signing autographs, but I probably will be grabbing a Gladiator from Smoothie King on Jefferson Highway across from Oshner. Smoothie King, old Metairie, right there on Airline at LaBar, Airline at Causeway by the Rouses. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks for joining us on the radio, on television. We're on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're watching on Cox Channel 4. You're watching on Spectrum Channel 333. We roll till 5:30. After, you can check it out till 6 on YouTube, on the radio on YouTube. The best way to find out where we are, radio, TV, YouTube, live streaming, all that. CoreyTalks.com. CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. I think you can put in Corey Talks.com. You can put in CoreyJohnson.com. It all links up to it. But it's Corey, Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, Corey at CoreyTalks.com. GQ sent me an email. It's a photo of him grilling some, I think, pork chops, I think he said in the email. He's got a Komodo Joe, like a big green egg Komodo Joe, the Primo, the ceramic. You use the lump charcoal. I'm a Weber guy. I use, Kingsford old school charcoal, but boy, that lump gets a lot hotter. Those ceramic grills like GQ's Komodo Joe, the results they get speak for themselves. He said, I'm using the Rouse's labeled, the Rouse's brand lump charcoal. It's less than $1 a pound. That's all I got to say for you. Primo, Komodo Joe, Big Green Egg, lump charcoal. Less than $1 a pound. The Rouse's labeled, the Rouse's branded lump charcoal. Where else are you getting high quality lump charcoal that you can use in those ceramic grills, like the Primo, the Komodo Joe, the Primo, the Komodo Joe, the Big Green Egg, like that you can get for under $1 a pound. High quality lump charcoal, Rouse's labels at all your Rouse's markets. I love the Rouse's branded stuff. I'm addicted to that extra virgin olive oil. Oliver Thomas to join us in about 5 minutes on the program. Don't go anywhere. Superdome renovations, about $500,000 plus, $500 million, $500 million plus dumped into the dome the last 3-4 years. Some impressive results. We'll talk about that as the Saints get ready for the preseason finale in the dome. Get to cut the ribbon and get ready for this season. And, of course, the Super Bowl in February. Are you kidding me? What a year. What a fall we're going to have. Developers of the old Bywater Naval Base had a neighborhood meeting. I'll fill you in on that. Mobile, Alabama, man. First, the $600 million grant, free money from the feds to help build that new bridge over the Mobile River, a new Jubilee Parkway to the eastern shore. That city's going to explode. They're now tearing down that old dome that you see on I-10 when you're driving right into the base of the tunnel on the left. That's their convention center for 60 years. They're tearing down that old boy. They're building a $300 million new one. Mobile, Alabama, on the go.
The gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe, in the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Boy, this guy's always accessible. Will he turn into Bobby Jindal if he becomes mayor and blow me off? Oliver Thomas joins us on the program. How are you, Oliver?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be you. And no, I guess the one good thing is we got so much in common, right? Either from our dads or the fact that, we're both talk show hosts, right? I'm not as seasoned or as good as you, but I definitely learn from folk like you. So, no, we have that professional courtesy that no matter how big or small I get, I'll never abandon Corey Johnson.
Well, I'll tell you, Bobby Jindal ran like crazy. His people would call, can Bobby come on this afternoon? I'm like, my God, he was on 2 days ago. It was almost like a nuisance. And then all of a sudden, some slightly critical comment and disappeared. Have never heard from him since.
well, Bobby was one of the few people I knew. His meetings was always interesting, right? He would agree to meet with you. You would have your group with you. He would tell you everything that he knew about you, what you were there for. And before you got a chance to say anything, he said, "Thank y'all for coming. See you again next time." He was famous for that.
Wow. He was so smart, is so smart. It's a shame, in my opinion, just wasted talent.
Well, my father used to always tell me, be smart enough to know you don't know everything. And he said that's the greatest tool of someone who fancies themselves smart, and that their ability to use their ears and listen and hear people, no matter how intelligent they think they are. And so, we always talk about how smart people are, but if they're really that smart, why they keep doing dumb stuff?
Have you...
So cool.
With that in mind, are you running for mayor?
Man, I can't wait to make that decision. It's looking better and better every day, and that would be a great challenge, man. And I look forward to, when the time is right to settle and get an opportunity. But the encouragement has been absolutely wonderful, and the support has been really, really good. And I love what I do.
So when you say it's looking better and better, meaning better and better that you would run?
It's looking better and better that I would definitely lean towards making that decision. Of course, there's family and friends to sit down with. There are a lot of other factors, and, the condition of the city is also going to play a part. But I'm really looking forward to, at some point, hopefully probably after the first of the year, making that decision. One of the things that I've learned, especially from studying elections, is that you don't have to have a long election season, especially if you're already elected, right? And I'm already in office. All I got to do is keep doing my job, getting people to think that I'm even worthy of being considered. And so far, some of the polling numbers I've seen and some of the encouragement from groups I've got, it's been very encouraging for me.
Even after your Donald Trump 2025 plan endorsement?
Yeah, but look, once folk read it, right? and I did it like that on purpose because it would call out the haters.
That's what I figured. You were kind of playing with that. Yep.
Yeah, and I like to write. And what folk don't realize, I write my own stuff, right? And I didn't need a campaign team to write that 14-point piece up. I don't need campaign strategists and consultants. I've been around long enough, have enough institutional knowledge to finish filling it out. And we'll do that at some point. But it's not just about, so people kept talking about the 2025 Republican piece. So I learned in politics, right, that if you're concerned about somebody else's plan, then write up your own. And so I wrote it up in the fashion to talk about how we would invest in our community and help our community and be our own plane. And guess what happened? The haters tried to use the headline and say Oliver Thomas is endorsing a Republican peace. So it started the conversation, and then guess what? People had to read it. We had over 1 million reads. And then I got national attention. And then NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune did that piece and explained the whole piece. But basically, Thomas's spoof wasn't an endorsement on the Republican plan. It was a plan for the city of New Orleans to consider its own plan. And so people did what I thought they did. And in that instance, I won.
Hey, Oliver, one thing that you have is the ability to bring white people, even conservative Republicans, on board.
Yes.
With that said, New Orleans has been dysfunctional for decades. I can't even think of a conservative or Republican that is in an elected office or one that's anointed, appointed in public office. Can you think of a single conservative Republican that is elected or appointed, anointed in any office of significance in New Orleans government right now?
No, I think that Hilford, she's a state rep and she has part of Metairie.
But there's really no...
But that's not in city government. I think the last person that was notable, right, that was really effective was Susie Terrell.
Yeah, and Peggy Wilson before that. I mean, they're just rare. I guess what I'm getting at.
The last person was Susie Terrell.
I guess what I'm getting at, I'm a registered independent. I don't care about Democrat or Republican. I just know New Orleans is dysfunctional. If I were Oliver Thomas running for mayor, I'd be like, every appointee, every member of my staff, everything I have influence on, 25% of these appointees, 1 out of 4, will be a conservative Republican.
Well, guess what? And I had a conversation with members of the business community today, and it went really, really well, right? And guess what we talked about? There was an elected official several years ago who formed joint council meetings between Jefferson Parish and Orleans Parish, who had joint task force meetings, right, where in the region we would get together with our legislative bodies to talk about how we move forward. That particular elected official had a meeting at the airport and a meeting at the Hilario Center, where conservatives and African Americans and whites and Republicans and Democrats talked about regional cooperation, how we work together, and how the future looks. Guess who that elected official was who called those 2 meetings?
Oliver Thomas.
That was me.
Yeah. Well,
and it hasn't happened since then. I was Governor Romer's appointment to the levy board back in the day when he was look,
getting rid of the Harvey Joker and bringing you in. I remember what Romer did.
Yeah, parties shouldn't stand in the way of how we function. And our biggest need in the city right now is that people don't look favorable on the delivery of services, right? How we deal with their tax dollars. In many cases, it seems like the city is functioning at 50% or 60% of delivery of services. And that's not about Republican or Democrat. That's about getting the best minds together, right? If I were you and you were mayor, I would make sure that you had someone who understood operation of government, right, and delivery of services, and then a financial officer who was fiscally responsible in terms of the budget. Because if you look at the one thing I'm a historian, I'm a beast. I've been legislator of the year quite a few times, probably more times than everybody who's elected now. People forget that. So when you look at public policy, right, the history of the city has not been how we manage tax dollars and how we deliver services. Whether you like Ray Nagin, Mitch Landrieu, Latoya Cantrell, or whatever, the budget, municipalities' budget, has continued to balloon with less and less deliverables when you talk about services. That doesn't work, right? So you got the Omaha 360 plan out there. You got other cities, what they've done is they've taken a look at impact investment, how you deliver services, what are you getting out of each department. Now, I had the favor of, when I was on vacation before, I had to work in business. I worked for a design and engineering firm where I had to understand how business works, how organization works, right? So I got a chance to look at government from the outside in terms of how it doesn't function just based on the contracts and the work that we did with municipal government. And Kaare, I'll give you an example. In my portfolio, I was responsible for several city projects. I'll never forget one project, and understand I get paid on the bonuses of our projects when we get paid, right? So that bonus is good to me. So I need those projects to move forward. We had a project the city marked up some questions about one of our submittals. Now, they marked up questions on the submittal, which was the same questions we answered to get the contract. So that was great. Well, once we answered those questions about the submittal, and the city said, okay, we can move forward, they wanted to reroute the contract back through the whole process again. Not just with the department that had questions, but all the way back through all of the department routing process. That's insane. That has to stop.
Oliver Thomas is with us. Oliver, John Bel Edwards brought in Jay Darden. Democrats were like, what a sellout. We get a Democrat governor in this red state, and you appoint a Republican as one of your key guys. Republicans are like, we don't care. He's a rhino. You didn't do anything. Neither side's happy. I was happy as an independent. Is there a way you can commit to 25% of the people you appoint on your staff that'll be conservative Republicans?
Yeah, but that's not a hard thing to do, right? I tell folks
in New Orleans, it's very hard.
No. When you're in charge, you can act like you're in charge. When you're given the responsibility of leadership, right? You can make the decisions to lead that move us forward. We're at a pivotal point of our history right now, and I had this conversation with a lot of folk for the last couple of days. Everybody's looking for a mayor, and let's keep it real, right?
Hey, Oliver, hang on 1 second. I don't want to cut you off. Hang on. I'm going to knock out a quick break. You know how that works, is doing your own show on radio. We're going to come right back where you're talking about a pivotal point in our city's history. Oliver Thomas is with us. Coming right back, New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you on a hot Tuesday afternoon.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer. Welcome back, Crescent City. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Oliver Thomas is with us as well. Oliver, didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about it as a pivotal time for New Orleans.
That is absolutely, we had a pivotal time in our history. I think this country is the state in our history, right? There's so many different divisions. I think, and most people are in the middle, or most people are there. Guess what they want? They just want to be able to operate their business, go to work, raise their families, and be safe. They don't really want to be on any side. I think it's the perfect opportunity, right, for us to develop collaborative efforts and coalitions that can share not only in municipal government, but how we do business in this city, from the delivery of services to economic development. I think that I don't think that any leader will be successful. As a matter of fact, people talk about draining the swamp or exodus. I think if we get a mayor or a leader who is not talking about collaborative efforts and sharing power, right, and sharing spheres of influence, I think ultimately we're going to wind up with a tourism core, and you're going to have a major exodus out of this city. I don't want to be part of that. This is where I'm from. This is where I came back to. And I think that the history of the city is incumbent upon us. The survival of the city is incumbent upon someone that's not looking at Republican, Democrat, black, white, rich, poor, or whatever, but says that the best minds now and the people who care about this city, it's time for everybody to be at the table. And I believe that in my core.
I not only like gumbo better than like tomato soup, I think it definitely is better in government. You just have one thing, all white, all black, all Republican, all Democrat. I just don't think it works. All local, all from out of town. None of that works. The best and brightest.
It doesn't work. And it's not a recipe for success today, because you know what we're doing, Corey, and you see it from talking to people, right, and just listening to people. I tell people, you and I have an advantage to doing what we do because we can hear people, right, and people will talk to us, and we kind of hear what they say without seeing their faces, right? Folk are opting out. The people in the middle, the people who just want are opting out, and they're leaving the battlefield and the game to the extremists on both sides. If we do not get them back in the game to say that someone cares about them, right? Not just about politics and not just about race, I think that's a failure. I think that's a recipe for destruction. I think it was Nikita Khrushchev who said, America war is about an outside enemy, but we're going to watch you destroy yourself from within. I think if we can continue down that path, I think we make that prophecy come true. And I don't want to be part of that.
Hey, Oliver, if you were to run for mayor, would there be some major plan, not plan, because you've already thrown out a plan, a major single thing that you would point to as most important or something that you would seek to change or rebuild?
Absolutely.
Or what's the number one thing?
A city of rules and a city of order. As I have studied this time back in office, right? And if I go back and I can compare it, even though I was a kid, I wasn't around for Dutch, a moon, a ski rope. I studied the history of the city, right? Increasingly over the last 12 or 13 years, we have a city where people think they can do what they want, where they want, when they want, how they want, to who they want, with no order or consequences at all. That has to change. And then the next thing it has to be the delivery of services, right? If you file for a permit to open your business, right, why should you have to wait 6 or 7 months when you've got your state license? Everybody else has signed off on the location, and you can't get a permit till 4, 5, or 6 or 7 months later, sometimes a year? And if you checked all of the boxes and everything is legitimate, why can't I issue you a temporary permit while you're waiting on those 1 or 2 things that make your application complete? And then the last thing is, everyone in this city needs to see someone that looks like them, a representative to them, being at the table in terms of government and execution of services.
Now, I almost was saying the other day, I don't know if you increase the council, but maybe you throw like a Vietnamese member as number 8 and a Honduran member as number 9. I don't know if they have voting power or not, but they're on the council. They could have influence.
Look, the real demographic in the city is sometimes it's perception versus reality. The city is still 60% African American.
Yep.
62% of chronic voters are Black, 31% white, and the Vietnamese and the Hispanic community about 8 and 7% respectively. That's it. So some of the prominence of the community, and I'll make a funny one. It's like people who thought Cindy Wynn was going to beat me in the 9th Ward where I came from. I had more cousins in the 9th Ward. I had one of the largest families in the city in the 9th Ward. If all my cousins voted for me, there was no way she could get enough votes to win based on that 4.5%, 5% population there.
Oh, no, but you never know. You could have like a complacency of your cousins like Bill Jefferson did, and Joseph Gow pulls one of the biggest upsets ever. That was incredible.
But that was because people didn't turn out. Remember when Edward Edwards, years ago, when they kept putting pressure on Edward Edwards to get a Black African-American elected statewide, and Edward Edwards say, yeah, that's good. He said, but 70 beats 30 every time 70 turns out.
Yep. Oh, no, you're right. So, that's a whole other story.
So that doesn't mean they don't get representation. That doesn't mean you don't take a look at how they look. At some point, the Hispanic community is going to dominate most of this country. Anyway, that's a reality, right? Yep. So do we welcome that participation and prepare for it? Are we shocked when we look up one day and it's the United States or something else?
No, it's inevitable. We live in the Western Hemisphere. There's 1.1 billion people, and about everybody but 200 million of them are Latino. So, it's inevitable.
It's just like you said, right? Why wouldn't I want to have whites and African Americans that are part of the cabinet, that are part of making decisions? So that I know I can speak to everybody. I speak the King's language very well. But there's something about people, when they see someone that comes from their community or that looks like them, they feel like they're part of. There's nothing wrong with making people feel like they're part of something.
Hey, Oliver, let me ask you something just real vanilla basic. If you were running for mayor, would you turn the traffic cameras off?
Well, you ever heard my talk about the traffic camera?
No, I'd like to hear about it.
Lord, I hate them.
Oh, good. So they'd be gone.
This is why they would be gone. They provide no value other than revenue raising and harassing people.
Yep.
Say, what happens with the Kaare? What happens to the person, right? I'm driving, I get caught in the camera, and I slow down, and you get caught right behind me.
Oh, it's rear end collisions, people locking up the brakes to not go through the red light when they normally would go through a yellow light. It's strictly what you said. There's nothing about safety involved at all. It's a sad money grab.
And I would see some value if they said it helped reduce insurance rates and auto rates. It does not.
No, you're right. You're right. Oliver, there's a mayor. It's an amazing story. I'm going to get him on the show soon. This Stimpson guy from Mobile. Are you familiar with him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, absolutely, man. Yeah, no doubt.
What success, man. He's a white Republican. It's a majority black town. The black community loves him. He works with both sides. They got a new bridge coming. They got a new convention center coming. They do more containers at their port than we do. Mobile's exploding. They're doing it right. It's great when everyone works together.
They got the shipping contract to make those specialty ships for the Navy. Matt Simpson and Matt Dow,
Airbus.
I don't want to say they were outliers, but they had very strong relationships in the African American community and in the Democratic community. They both had people who were major Democrats who operate inside their administration. Period. So, no, I mean, there are great examples. One of the great examples of governance was Matt Goldsmith of Goldstein out of Indianapolis. He was the kind of the father, one of the fathers of municipalization of delivery services, right? Where he thought he was under this privatization thing, that where he was like privatize, right? And then once he took office, that conservative man in Indianapolis learned that if you train public employees, right, and give them the resources, they actually outperform many of the private contracts. Now, of course, there were some private contracts where they turned municipal contracts into privatization, but he had a balance of both. And he had people who were part of his cabinet from all walks of life. I actually think that's the formula if we're going to save this country.
No, I love hearing it.
I believe that extremists, their agendas are to burn down the house. But not just burn down the house and build a new house. They're trying to burn down the house with us in it.
So we got about 30 seconds, and you know what that means in radio. Yeah. The extreme groups to me, like Bold, Life, Soul, Coup, these extreme yesteryear, hardcore black political groups, always us versus them, this racial divide crap. You can clearly say to them, hey, guys, you might be a little disappointed. My administration, if I become mayor, will be a gumbo, Republican, Democrat, black, and white.
None of them were with me when I ran again this time. And right now, none of them are eager to help me right now.
No, I like hearing that. You got enough of the black vote, like you said, so many cousins and relatives.
And that's a fact.
Yep, no.
Because they're all trying to scramble to find their own candidate that they think they can control. It's unfortunate, right?
It is.
Because I'm not the kind of person who wants to hurt anybody. I just want to bring us all together.
Oliver, thanks so much for all the time today. I appreciate it.
All right, Corey. Have a good one, man.
You too. Talk to you soon.
Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
That's what I said. Leidenheimer. That's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Wow. Did you check that out? Oliver Thomas joining us on the program. He says he will make a decision by the end of the year if he's running for mayor or not, but it's looking good. Talked about, he had that plan 2025. I was like, there wasn't anything in it about a diverse administration. I said, if I were Oliver Thomas, especially dysfunctional New Orleans, and I'm a registered independent, I don't give a crap about Democrat or Republican. My advice to the state of Louisiana, get more Democrat liberal input in government policy. That would be my advice. And I know conservative Republicans going, what are you talking about? Give us a chance to run things. It's been done before, Democrats or Republicans exclusively. Didn't work too well with Jindal. New Orleans is so broken and dysfunctional, all Democrat, all liberal, a lot of it extreme liberal for 30, 40 years straight and beyond. I asked Oliver, is there an elected official, anointed, appointed, anyone of significance in New Orleans city government that's a Republican or a conservative? He couldn't name one. Neither can I. There isn't one. So I was like, Oliver, your administration, I'm Oliver Thomas. Part of my plan would be 25% of anyone I anoint, I appoint, anybody that's on my staff in my administration that I have control over, 25% at least, 1 out of 4 will be a conservative Republican. Will be a conservative Republican, 25%, 1 out of 4. Man, I'm being nice. It could be 50-50. I mean, in an ideal world. Oliver Thomas seemed to embrace that. I brought up the Mobile mayor, a white conservative in a majority black town, beloved by the black community, working with both communities, bringing everybody together. Mobile's exploding. Oliver Thomas could be that bridge builder. The key, Oliver Thomas, you heard what he said about, what was her name? Wynn, who was running against him. He's like, I got more cousins in New Orleans East. There's no way she could win. He's right. He's got the black community. He's got that base. He's got those voters. It's getting the white voters. It's getting the undecided black voters. I doubled down on the question with him. So, Oliver, I can safely say to the extreme political black community, bold, these acronym, bold, life, soul, coup, those political hacks, those jokers, those extremists, that all they do is divide us versus them. It's all about race, always has been. You can clearly say to them, hey, sorry, you elect me as mayor. It's not going to be some blackout. It's not going to be everyone black and extreme left, extreme liberal, all the bold life, soul, coup people on board, just everyone getting a job. You can click. He's like, yes, not interested in them, not interested in bold life, soul, coup and their endorsement. They want to control me. Not going to allow that. So, yeah, I can send a message to them. It's not going to be a blackout. I'm not going to sell out and do everything they would do. Very polarizing, divisive. Every race is like that. Those groups are terrible. I mean, these groups are like Sherman Copeland, Mark Morial, Bill Jefferson controlled. You know, it's a joke. It's pathetic. As a white member of the New Orleans community for my entire life, I don't see a lot of progress with those black politicians and bold life, soul, coup and what they do. I see good things for like Sherman Copeland. He lives high on the hog. He does well for himself. I don't know how well anymore, but Sherman Copeland, what a pathetic story. Friend of mine's running a campaign. Sherman Copeland wants to have that guy. I don't know which group Sherman Copeland's with. One of them, one of the acronyms, Bold Life, Soul, Coup. One of them. He's like a big player in it. So he's like, we're going to put you on the card. You know, it's going to cost $1,000. Or we got to print the cards, all this crap, whatever. And my friend's like, yeah, it's not really worth it or something, you know. So Sherman Copeland's like $500. So my friend agrees to $500. So Sherman Copeland comes over and to pick up the check, and right away he's like $1,000. And my friend's like, we agreed to $500. And Sherman Copeland's like $750, like renegotiating the deal. Sherman Copeland's like 72 years old, like a man, you know, a full grown adult. My friend gives him a $500 check, writes it to Bold Life, Soul, Coup, whatever the group was. Sherman Copeland takes off. Gets in his car, drives a little ways, and sees that it's written to whatever acronym group. Calls him back, says, no, you need to write it to the so-and-so LLC, some BS Sherman Copeland LLC. So it's not even going to Bold Life, Soul, or Coup. Oh, Sherman, you can call me if you want to discuss this, 766-9480. So my friend has to like rewrite the check, and it's going to like some LLC that Sherman Copeland owns, but just 72-year-old man having to tool around and meet like my friend running a campaign to pick up a $500 check, tries to talk him up to $1,750. So they endorse him on this little slip of paper that voters bring into the polls. And then the check is written to the acronym group, and Sherman Copeland wants it written to some LLC so he can pocket the money, I'm guessing. Just crazy. Sad and pathetic, scrambling around, scooping up checks. That's Sherman Copeland in his 70s. So no, these folks have never done anything for the black community. It's like Bill Jefferson, just all out for himself and his family. Mose, the daughter, the wife working at Suno professor's going, I've never seen her. She pulls twice my salary. She makes 80, 90 grand a year and is never here. No, it's a joke. It's all about setting up friends and family, the needs of the few. That Edwin Edwards, John Alario mentality. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. No, we need like Stimpson, the Mobile mayor, who's a bridge builder. Oliver Thomas could be that. With Stimpson, it was bridge building with the black community. He's a white conservative Republican. With Oliver Thomas, it's bridge building with the white community. He's a liberal black Democrat. What's that, Blue Boy? Excellent comments from Oliver Thomas, especially about the Gumbo administration and Bold Life Soul Coup. Those extreme black political groups can basically shove it, is what he was saying. Yeah, that's what I heard. 5 o'clock powwow is next.
Now
on
the
boy.
Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel.
We have a legal ID to do.
Also on
Be
YouTube,
quiet, buddy.
on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5
Good
p.m.
boy.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry, superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Lord, Lord, that's what I said. Ooh, Lord, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
If you missed the last hour, you missed a lot. Oliver Thomas joined us. Said he'll make a decision by the end of the year if he's going to run for mayor of New Orleans or not. Says he's getting really close and things look good. So I would say he's going to run, and he'll announce that by the end of the year. He also said he's going to have a gumbo administration, black, white, Republican, Democrat, the best and brightest. I doubled down on that question because I said, Oliver, if I were you. Well, first off, here's Drew Brees. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees. I said, Oliver Thomas, if I were you running, I'd say, hey, at least 25% of my administration and 25% of anyone I anoint or appoint in a position will be Republican and conservative. At least 25%, 1 in 4 at least. That's like a no-brainer. New Orleans is so liberal, so woke, so Democrat-run. There's not a single conservative or Republican anywhere in elected office. And I'm not going to bat for Republicans or Democrats. I'm a registered independent. I just like functionality of government. And New Orleans is broken. It's all liberal. It's all Democrat. There's no other thinking at all. And that never works. I'm for bipartisanship, not extreme left or right. New Orleans is extreme left. It's woke. It's loony liberal. It has been for decades and decades, and it doesn't work. And doing a rinse and repeat more of that crap is a nightmare. I remember when John Bel Edwards became governor, and he had Jay Darden as like his chief of staff, one of his main advisors. Darden's a Republican. Democrats were pissed at him. It's like, wow, we win the governor's race and you don't put one of our people in? Republicans were pissed, saying, wow, you put in this rhino, it doesn't mean a thing. Darden's not a real Republican. It's like, God, the extreme left and extreme right didn't like it at all. People like me in the middle were like, yeah, a blue dog Democrat, a moderate Democrat, John Bel Edwards, anti-abortion, pro-guns, brings in a Republican to be a key advisor in his staff. Like that's exactly the blueprint of what I like, what I think this country needs. So it's like Jeff Landry. I would have some key liberal Democrat advisors, but I don't think he's got too much of that. And if I'm Oliver Thomas, my God, in New Orleans, you've got to have conservative Republican people, because there's none anywhere to be seen. And it's a major reason why things don't work. You're just getting the same side, the same ideology, the same way of thinking, never an alternative view, ever. Just that getting pounded all the time. Maybe a little moderate would be an alternative view, but never anything on the right or conservative side. It just doesn't work. Got to have some balance. New Orleans has no balance. It's way extreme left. So Oliver Thomas said, yes, I would have a diverse staff, the best and brightest, black, white, Republican, Democrat. And then I doubled down on that and said, Oliver, these extreme black political groups, very divisive. It's us versus them, black versus white all the time. These acronym groups, BOLD, Life, Soul, Coup. run by some of the worst, most deviant criminal politicians, not advancing the black population in New Orleans in the least bit. A scam, a joke. A few black folks get some money on the side like a Sherman Copeland. And then the group of black folks, the large population, gets nothing out of it. And this just rinse and repeat over and over again. I asked Oliver, so your message to them, the extreme black folks that are political in New Orleans, the bold life, soul, coup folks. Hey, you think I'm going to do a blackout? I become mayor. It's going to be all black. It's going to be all loony liberal. It's going to be your people in power. Forget it. It's going to be the opposite of what you want. An administration that looks like a gumbo, not a potato or tomato soup, not one thing. Sorry, bold life, soul coup. He even went on to say that they're not talking to me. I don't talk to them. They only want to, if they wanted me, it would be to control me. I'm not for that. So he was kind of dissing bold life, soul coup, these extreme black political organizations. Like, don't need you, don't want you. That's Oliver Thomas. I'm going to post those cuts on Twitter in a little while after the program's over at 6. But some really great stuff from Oliver Thomas. And then some great comments. Like I posted as much on Twitter during the top of the hour, right? It was the 50 after break, about 8 minutes till the top of the hour. I said, wow, Oliver Thomas on show just a few minutes ago. We'll make a decision by the end of the year if he's running for mayor. It looks like he's going to. Have a gumbo administration, black, white, Republican, Democrat. Message to bold life, soul coup. Says he doesn't need extreme black political groups to back him. Says they just want to control him, not interested. And then some replies to that. Some are like, I've been impressed with Oliver Thomas, and some are like, only here can a politician with corruption and bribery on his resume run for office again. Utterly embarrassing for the city. What the blank is wrong with people here? ? The guy who went to prison for using his office for personal gain. So those are just some of the responses. No, it's all legitimate. All legitimate. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. No, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. About 25 good minutes with Oliver Thomas. Now, I like what I'm hearing. I hope it's true. I mean, if he were to win mayor, the only way New Orleans can move forward is with that kind of thinking, with a diverse group. Black, white, old, young, Republican, Democrat. I will give LaToya Cantrell a little bit of credit where credit's due. This Montano guy ignores me, avoids my emails, won't come on the show, knows exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to ask him legitimate questions. What's sad for this Montano guy, he's making an assumption and a judgment on me. I like him. I think he's fairly legit, believe it or not. He just happens to work for LaToya Cantrell, who isn't legit. But I like that LaToya Cantrell brought in this Montano guy from, I think he's from Arizona. He's not from here, has no connection to New Orleans. I love Gosson Corbin, who runs the Sewage and Water Board. 25, 30 years, Milwaukee public service, doing the same thing. Like, that's what he does. Mitch Landrieu had that Cedric Grant joker, that anointed, appointed political hack, that clown. An expert in nothing. Not even like, hey, doesn't know a lot about, one thing, but knows a little about a lot of things. No, isn't even that. Doesn't know a lot about one thing and doesn't know a little about a lot of things. He's just worthless. Political hack joker. He pulls $180 a year in retirement. Cedric Grant pulls $180,000 a year, money he did not earn at all. He knows it. Sitting in bed at night, 70-something-year-old man, poor guy. Poor bastard sitting there going, Corey Johnson's right. Sitting here about to go to sleep, just me and my maker. I'm a farce. I'm a joke. I'm a charlatan. My resume's blank. All I've done is insert head up politician's rear end and moved up the ladder that way. Got anointed, appointed BS jobs and didn't do my job. This guy ran the Sewage and Water Board. I promise you, from doing this show, I know more about the Sewage and Water Board than Cedric Grant. I'll let Cedric Grant come up with the test questions on the Sewage and Water Board, and I'll answer them better than he will. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. These appointed, anointed political hacks, these people that just rotate through the process. I'll never forget. I'm at this West Bank fight at the Ott Center of Pro Boxing. Edwin Edwards there, all these political West Bank Jefferson Parish jokers, the elected folks and the anointed, appointed folks. And I'm talking to this one guy who's just been in state government for years. I asked him about new governor. He's like, oh, they're just going to move me to this. His job's guaranteed. He doesn't really work. He doesn't really produce anything. He makes a good salary. He's going to have a nice pension. It's a joke. We must have hundreds of thousands of people in New Orleans and Louisiana that work for the city, a municipality, government, the state, that do absolutely nothing. I don't know. I was about to say, I don't know how people live with themselves, but there's a lot of people. I mean, they're probably miserable. They're probably not happy. They're probably easily agitated, irritated. Or if they're, happy, they're aloof and they're dopey and they don't have any kind of ethical, moral compass, no introspection. I don't know how people live like that. I got to work. I don't know. If I won the lottery, I'd keep working. Maybe I'd take a break for a little while, but I'd get right back into it. No, I got to work and earn my money. Have to feel good about myself. Don't want a free job or some city contract. Hell, I don't take the BS lawyer gambling money on the show, and they're begging me to take it. So, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I liked what I heard from Oliver Thomas about a diverse administration. I mentioned Stimson, the mayor of Mobile. I'm going to try to get him on the show in the next few weeks. White, conservative Republican, beloved by Mobile's black community, has won re-election 3 times. They don't have term limits there because the black community's carrying him. There's a reason for it. I hope Oliver Thomas does the same thing, an olive branch to the white business community and bring everybody together. And that's the only way the city's going to move forward. Corey Johnson with You Don't Move.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. 5 o'clock powwow on a Tuesday. If you're beelining across the causeway heading north, call in to Trey Yen. Get a big to-go order. Bring that home. Everybody's happy. Trey Yen has curbside delivery. They'll walk that to-go order right out to your car. You don't even leave your vehicle. You show up with that at home, you're a hero. Trey Yen to go, curbside delivery. Some of the best Chinese cuisine in America. We're blessed. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Oliver Thomas joined us last hour. He says by the end of the year, he'll make a decision if he's running for mayor, and it's looking good that he will run. He also said that he's going to have a diverse administration if he were to win, an administration that's black, white, Republican, Democrat. I doubled down on asking that question. I asked him the question this way. I'm like, I'm Oliver Thomas, broken, dysfunctional New Orleans, Oliver. At least 25% of my staff anointed, appointed, and I'm an independent. I don't give a crap about Democrat or Republican. I'm just talking about New Orleans and its broken, dysfunctional, only Democratic, liberal ideology. I would make my administration, my staff, anyone I could appoint, anoint 25% Republican conservative, at least 1 out of 4 conservative Republican. And Oliver Thomas agreed. Black, white, Republican, Democrat, the best. So I doubled down on that. Oliver, these extreme black groups, political groups in New Orleans with these acronym names, Bold, Life, Soul, Coup. They expect you to make it a blackout, all black folks in key positions. Well, I don't care about them. I'm not interested in their endorsement. I'm like, wow. He's just dissing those extreme political groups. And I'm glad he is, because they suck. They do nothing for the black community. They only do for like the Johnny Jackson, Sherman Copeland, Bill Jeffersons of the world. It's a scam. It's a joke. Jacques Morial types. They make money off of elections. They don't make any changes. It's sad. So no, not only is it going to be diverse, a gumbo administration, I don't care about these extreme black political groups in New Orleans. I don't care about these extreme black political groups in New Orleans. Don't want their endorsement. I'm like, damn. You know, I think a lot of white folks like take that kind of stuff for granted, like it's no big deal because, hey, that's the easy thing to do. Well, I don't know. Would you do it on the same way with, some conservative or, Republican group that wasn't right? DA Jason Williams, he runs on a platform that's pretty woke and pretty liberal. Jason Williams is smart and he's got a lot of common sense. He gets the DA gig, he sees reality, and he knows he can't stick with what he ran on. He was, naive, uninformed. I don't think he was, hey, let me placate the voters and lie to them, and then when I get in office, I'm going to do something different. I think he honestly in office. And when he runs again, it'll be on what he changed to, not the original platform. So those folks are either going to say, wow, this guy's got it together, or man, he sold us out. We're going to abandon voting for him. My point is, it was pretty brave in a mostly black, hyper liberal political community that DA Jason Williams says, these promises I made that by changing them, and it's the right thing to do, it's going to tick off a lot of the inner city black hardcore political groups like Bold Soul, Life, and Coup that expect me to do these certain things. So that's brave doing that, going against who elected you. And Oliver Thomas, even before announcing if he's going to run, he's already saying, I don't need Bold Life, Soul, or Coup. I don't need these extreme black political groups from yesteryear. The Jacques Marc Morial, Bill Jefferson, Sherman Copeland, Johnny Jackson, these jokers and these groups they run that they control. Don't need their endorsement, don't want their endorsement. All they're trying to do is control. I loved what Oliver Thomas said. Loved it. Brought up Mayor Stimson from Mobile, who I'm going to try to get on the show. He's successful in Mobile. He's a white conservative Republican. He bridged the gap. He reached out to the black community. He's beloved in the black community. He's 3-time mayor. Mobile's exploding. The changes they've made right in front of our eyes the last few years, New Orleans, Oliver Thomas, whoever's the next mayor should take note. They just got $600 million, a grant, free money, no repay, not a loan, going towards like a $2 billion+ project, a bridge over the Mobile River, replacing the I-10 tunnel, and a new Jubilee Parkway connecting Mobile proper to that eastern shore, that affluent eastern shore. So they'll have a twin span like New Orleans east to Slidell, and they'll have a new, modern, incredible, beautiful bridge that'll add to their skyline, but most importantly, get people in and out of Mobile much quicker, much more efficient. They basically have an interstate loop. They have Airbus. They build airplanes. They've got Austal. They build ships. They got a steel mill up I-65. They're tearing down that little dome civic center and building a $300 million brand new civic center. Their port does more containers than we do in New Orleans. Mobile's exploding. They're a city we should look to and copy. Mobile, Alabama. Birmingham's been exploding for years. In a few decades, Mobile's going to catch up. And Birmingham in the metro, twice the size of Mobile's metro. Birmingham's metro is about 100,000, 80,000 less folks than Metro New Orleans. They're at about 1.1 million in Metro Birmingham. We're at 1.2 in Metro New Orleans. Nearly the same population. Birmingham's going to pass us. They're growing. And Mobile is going to explode with that bridge replacing the tunnel and the new twin span to the eastern shore. They're going to blow up over the next few decades. No, that mayor, a white Republican beloved by the black community, working together, that's how you get things done. That's what people want, bipartisanship. That's building, that's growing. I mentioned this the other day, and history's not going to look kindly upon these divisive politicians the last decade plus, last few decades. It's slowly been building to this caustic situation we have today. Republicans, Democrats, the other side sucks. The other side's the enemy. The other side's racist. The other side's weak. The other side has nothing good to offer. Not only is it baloney and total BS, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a farce. No, it's just sad. It appeases and placates the insecure, the squeaky wheels that are extreme left or extreme right that never, ever, ever consider the other side. No, the vast majority in this country are independent, moderate Democrat, moderate Republican, moderate Libertarian, moderate Independent. They want the Democrats and Republicans to work together for us. No, it's coming to a head. Mobile does it. Oliver Thomas, he can win the mayor gig. He might get reelected in New Orleans. I mean, dysfunction, we've proven decades of that. Jokers get elected all the time. LaToya Cantrell's reelected. I mean, what more do I need to say? LaToya Cantrell got reelected. But if Oliver Thomas comes in and does what he said today, brings in Republicans and, women and black, white, Republican, Democrat, the best of the best, local, national, New Orleans has a chance to move forward. If Oliver Thomas goes in and just rinse and repeat the same old crap, then, forget it. If Bold Life, Soul, Coup have their say, New Orleans stays stagnant. Nothing changes. A few people make some money. A few scumbags make some money. If Oliver Thomas does what he says and pulls a Stimson, like in Mobile, and has a gumbo coalition and works with the other side, in Mobile, it's the black community. In New Orleans, it would be Oliver Thomas working with the white business community. New Orleans could take off. It's the only way it's gonna. Hey, TV audience, we say adios at 5:30 every day. Hey, Baton Rouge. That means we'll see you tomorrow. Lafayette, we'll see you tomorrow. Or you continue watching right now on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Yeah, every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 on the radio on YouTube, 4 to 5:30 on television. We'll see you mañana straight up 4 o'clock on TV. Or like I said, keep watching on YouTube. It is straight down 5:30 on a Tuesday afternoon. It's hot out there, too. You need air conditioning help? NOLAAC.com will take care of you. That's total maintenance. In New Orleans, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. Feel rest assured. I need AC help, NOLAAC.com. If you're in Baton Rouge, TM-AC.com. TM, like total maintenance. TM-AC.com in the capital city. It is total maintenance. Fair and honest, Lucas and the boys. Air conditioning experts that come immediately. It's hot. Your AC's not working right, or worse, not working at all. In New Orleans, NOLAAC.com. In Baton Rouge, TM-AC.com. That's fair and honest, Lucas and the boys at Total Maintenance. Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Oliver Thomas was on fire earlier today. Hey, Mike Hoss will join us on Tuesday, radio voice of the Saints, not to talk Saints. He also helps run the Superdome, works with Doug Thornton. Superdome renovations, $500 million plus. I mean, pretty amazing. They've got a bar, 2 bars on each side. They're like 40 yards long, from like the 30-yard line to the 30-yard line. There's wider concourses. They removed a bunch of interior ramps and replaced them with stairs and huge escalators that go from like the ground level to the top of the terrace. And all points in between. New escalators, some wireless upgrades. These atriums are incredible. You walk in, it might be 6, 8, 10 stories of atrium. A lot of natural light brought in. $500 million plus.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine. As unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. A lot going on. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Oliver Thomas joining us. Thursday, Mike Hoss will join us to talk about $500 million in Superdome renovations. Developers at the old Bywater Naval Station, they met with the neighborhood, and it looks like things appear to be moving forward. It's a nearly $170 million phase 1. They're waiting on some federal money that's coming in the next few months. It's going to be low-income housing, market rate housing, some retail. The first phase, which is 2 buildings, is about $170 million. And then they've got at least 1 or 2 more phases. But it is long overdue. Really sinful what the city of New Orleans did. Mitch Landrieu is most to blame, and then LaToya Cantrell. But it's terrible. It really is. This was an operating federal naval facility. I'm not going to say it's Class A office space. It's like Class C. It was old. It wasn't run down and beat up. It was just old. It was like wood paneling. I'm not going to say shag carpet, but just like old stuff. But government built, overbuilt, heavy-duty doors and windows. And, you know, the thing is, obviously, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, air conditioning, heating, everything worked. Lights, everything. Functioning building, like 1 million square feet of office space. Like the size of One Shell Square, Hancock Whitney today. Place St. Charles. What is it now? Capital One? I can't keep up. Charity Hospital. He's like 1 million square feet. So the government shuts down the naval facility, but they keep a military presence there. MP, you know, security. The place is secure, intact. Air conditioning running, heat running, keeping the structure intact, although no one working there anymore. Then the government hands the keys over to the city. And Mitch Landrieu and the city knows there's not going to be anybody protecting it anymore. All Mitch Landrieu and the city had to do is, hey, let's put a police substation in there. Let's put a few. Where are some city offices that there's like a mold or mildew problem, air conditioning or heat doesn't work right? What was it? The traffic court had problems. There's always problems. Police are moving in. They're renting space on Poydras. It was 1 million square feet. It's all air conditioning and heated. It's climate controlled. It's workable office space. First, you put in a police substation. Then you start moving over city offices. So there's a presence. Then you have a gate and it's secure. People have to come in and out with a badge. No one's going in there. No homeless people are going into that facility when there's a police presence, when it's lit up, when there's only one way in and out, when there are people working there. All of us, the next week, another 20 city workers are taking up office space there. But Mitch Landrieu didn't even think about that. No one with the city council thought about that. The government hands over the city of New Orleans this. I mean, it's on the corner of the Mississippi River and the intracoastal, industrial waterway. The industrial waterway linking the lake to the river and the Mississippi River. It's on that corner. Poland Avenue on the Bywater. I mean, what is that property worth on the market? Seriously. What is that property worth on the market? I mean, tens of millions of dollars at least. Maybe north of like 100 million when it was functioning. I don't know. You find the right person. Massive facility, 1 million square feet, 2 huge parking garages linked to these buildings. Overbuilt government complex. No, just sinful. Just right away, vagrants going in there. And then, you know, besides stealing copper, then you just get morons lighting fires, breaking windows, breaking doors, breaking up sheetrock, ripping up carpet, graffiti, just in total disrepair, just sinful behavior by the city. I'm not telling you the government gave them some gold brick, but they didn't give them some eyesore piece of crap. It was something that was functional. And all the city had to do, the simplest thing, police substation in there right away. Right away. And then you're moving city offices in there and all that. No, just terrible. At least now, I mean, it was going to have to be gutted and all that anyway to be redone, but still, to let it go into disrepair plus fires and other damage to the building that's going to cost developers money to get it back to normal. No, just wrong. But anyway, good news. They met with the neighborhood and they're trying to move forward on that. Waiting for some money from the Fed, should be coming in the next few months. And then next year, maybe they start rolling on this $170 million phase 1 of that old naval facility on Poland Avenue. I've been mentioning Mobile, Alabama, this Sandy Stimpson mayor, hoping to get him on the show soon. Just about a month ago, they secured $600 million. The day before, I would think I was talking about what money did the city get? $25 million from the feds. I'm trying to think what it was for. I mean, it was good. It wasn't anything bad. It was something good. It was like $25 million from the feds. I was like, great. And then like 2 days later, Alabama gets $600 million, and it's a grant, not a loan, just free money. Here you go, Mobile, to go towards building probably going to be about $1.5 billion bridge over the Mobile River, and then probably another $1 billion plus of twin span linking Mobile to the eastern shore. So they're going to have a bridge replacing the I-10 tunnel, and they're going to have a new twin span replacing that old Jubilee Parkway. They've got about $600 million, maybe 25%, probably 20% of the total cost of that project. And then Mobile announced today they're tearing down that old like dome arena you see. Things like 60 years old from like the early 60s. That little dome arena you see right on I-10 before you enter the tunnel to the left when you're heading through Mobile. They talked about redoing it, and then it's like the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. It doesn't work. The roof, what you'd have to do to the roof to support concerts and acts that hang all kind of stuff from the roof, it's just better to build a new building, just like the PMAC. $300 million new civic center coming to Mobile, Alabama. They got Airbus, they build airplanes. They got Austal, they build ships. They got a steel mill right on the northern part of town. They move more containers than the Port of New Orleans. There's about 450,000 in the Mobile metro area, the metro. So it's about 45% the size of Metro New Orleans, but it's growing. About a little less than half the size of Metro Birmingham. In the next few decades, Mobile's going to have explosive growth. Mobile, Alabama, already moving in the right direction. Now they got this bold, forward-thinking mayor, Sandy Stimpson, who is a white conservative Republican that has been elected 3 times. Elected once, reelected 2 times by black voters, beloved by the black community in New Orleans, because he has reached out to the black community and is working with the black community to advance Mobile's black community. Oliver Thomas says he's going to have a diverse administration if he decides to run for mayor and were to win. Republicans, Democrats, black, white. It's the only way to move New Orleans forward. If we continue doing what we're doing, this hyper woke, liberal, Democrat only. I have nothing against Democrats, have nothing for them, nothing against Republicans, nothing for them. I'm a registered independent. I just want to see Democrats and Republicans work together. And in New Orleans, it is hyper woke, loony liberal. It has been forever. Hard to find, impossible to find a single elected conservative Republican anywhere in city government. If that doesn't alarm you, if you don't think that's wrong, there's something wrong with you. Seriously. I mean, even red Louisiana elected John Bel Edwards not once, twice, Democrat governor, highest office in red Louisiana. New Orleans, no, we're just loony left, hyper woke, no Republicans anywhere in sight, no one appointed, no one anointed. That's one of New Orleans' major problems, one of the big ones. We can sit here and go, education, infrastructure, crime, lack of economic opportunity. No conservative Republicans to be seen anywhere in New Orleans city government. And I don't care about Republicans or Democrats. I'm just talking a different view from what has been failing New Orleans for 40 years. This hyper woke, liberal, loony left view only, exclusively. Never the other side, never an alternative view, never a conservative Republican view. That's one of the major reasons New Orleans is dysfunctional. One of the major reasons right there. Oliver Thomas says he'll have a diverse administration, black, white, Republican, Democrat, the best of the best, local, national. I hope. Every day, this program on radio, on television, on YouTube, live streaming, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. The big store, Lamarck Ford, for over 45 years. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. And now the legendary Ford truck dealership, Crescent City Ford, under the Lamarck umbrella. over there on Jefferson Highway. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
That's what I said. Ooh,
1896, A True Taste of New Orleans, Leidenheimer.
Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940. You want to experience the best dry cleaner? Tired of your dry cleaner? Want to experience the best? It's easy. youngsdrycleaning.com. You can sign up online, free pickup and delivery, home or office, East Bank or West Bank. They've got walk-up locations. They have locker locations, manless locker locations. youngsdrycleaning.com. Democratic National Convention continues. I watched a little bit last night, and then I switched around different channels, getting the liberal view, the conservative view. I just turned it off after a while. I missed all the big speakers from last night. tonight, there's, more of the same. I'll probably watch a little bit till I get bored, just like I predicted. I'm not built for that stuff. I can't watch hours of that crap. Are you kidding? I don't know how people sit through that at the event. Seriously. Anyway, I don't think Lee Greenwood's going to be singing. Thank goodness. I could make up Lee Greenwood songs like instantly. They're just so simple. Anyway, yeah, I'll watch a little bit tonight, but not too much. Trader Joe's coming to New Orleans, like 2 of them. Tulane across from the VA, they're about to break ground on that one. And Uptown Napoleon at Ferret, they're about to break ground on that one. I have never purchased a single item from Trader Joe's. I've been in the one in Metairie a couple of times. I'll go to Jefferson Feed to pick up some food or something for Tolly, or some cat food for Puffy, outdoor cat. But I don't, there's nothing. I'm not against Trader Joe's. If you go there, great, but I'm not for it. Aldi, all that. I go to Rouse's. I mean, I'm a New Orleans guy. I'm not getting Trader Joe products. It's like Whole Foods. I like Whole Foods, but I don't buy Whole Foods products. I buy Rouse's labeled products. Extra virgin olive oil. A buddy of mine has a ceramic Komodo Joe grill. He used Rouse's lump charcoal last night. I asked him, give me a review. He said, it's great. And it's less than $1 a pound. That's all I need to say for you. Komodo Joe, Primo, Big Green Egg, lump charcoal users. Rouse's labeled lump charcoal, less than $1 a pound. I mean, any other lump charcoal is north of $1 a pound. Some are like $2 a pound. It's insane. It's friggin' charcoal. Rouse's will take care of you. My buddy's like, great, high quality, lit up fast, high heat. Loved it. He'll be buying Rouse's lump charcoal from now on. The Rouse's labeled stuff for you ceramic grillers. The Primo, Big Green Egg, Komodo Joe grillers. Superdome renovations, $500 million. They're pretty much done. Mike Haas, voice of the Saints. He's not going to join us to talk Saints football on Thursday. He'll join us to talk about the dome renovations, what fans can expect from that experience. Oliver Thomas joined us in the 5 o'clock hour. I'm going to have some cuts from that in a little while. Pretty good stuff. Talking about 3 things that stood out during that interview. One, just a general news story. Hey, by the end of the year, I'm going to announce if I'm running for mayor or not, and it looks good. Things look encouraging, like he's going to run. But he's going to make the official announcement by the end of the year. What really stood out, I brought up the Mobile mayor, a conservative white Republican in a black majority city who has embraced the black community and is beloved by the black community. Oliver Thomas needs to do the same thing with the white business community in New Orleans. And I even took it a step further. I said, Oliver, this hyper woke liberal Democrat thing doesn't work in New Orleans. 40 years of failure. If I were you, I'm Oliver Thomas, I would say at least 25% of my administration, at least 25% of any anointed, appointed person, anyone I have influence on, at least 25%, at least 1 out of 4 will be a conservative Republican. We need some diversity. And Oliver Thomas was like, yes, black, white, Republican, Democrat. Diversity is what it's all about. I will have a gumbo administration. So I took it a step further. And I said, these extreme black political groups in New Orleans with the acronym names like Bold, Life, Soul, Coup. If they back you, they're going to expect you to make it a blackout. Every appointee, black, everyone Democrat, everyone liberal. If they're white, they better be a hardcore woke liberal. And Oliver Thomas like, what do you say to them? Hey, sorry, not going to tell you what you want. I'm going to have a diverse administration. He says exactly that. Don't care about Bold, Life, Soul, or Coup. They're not interested in me. I'm not interested in them. They would want to control me. I'm not interested in that. Oliver Thomas basically said, hey, hardcore black political groups You extremists in the black community, political zealots, don't want you, don't need you, don't care for you. Bold, life, soul, coup. I love it. I love it. Those are good things to hear. Diverse administration, like Mobile, Alabama. White conservative mayor. A lot of black folks in his administration. Oliver Thomas needs, I don't care if they're white, needs conservative Republicans in his administration. And white would be good just for diversity. Women, gay, all of it. The best and the brightest, locally, nationally. That's how New Orleans moves forward. Just follow the cities that do it right, like Little Mobile, Alabama, kicking butt and taking names if you haven't been paying attention. Yeah, you right, 5 o'clock power hour. On a Tuesday, brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company, bakers of that wonderful Leidenheimer French bread we love. I had a roast beef po' boy today. Yes, it was good because one of the big reasons it was on Leidenheimer French bread, that Leidenheimer French bread holds that. This was a Debris-style sloppy roast beef, holds it all together. Shrimp po' boy, oyster po' boy. If it's a good one, it's going to be on Leidenheimer French bread. Since 1896, Leidenheimer Baking Company. This guy likes Leidenheimer French bread. What, Blue Boy? Heat it up in the oven and butter it up for you? You'd like some Debris-style roast beef on that Leidenheimer French bread, too? I bet you would, buddy. Thank everybody for watching and listening. Thank the Corporal. We'll see you tomorrow, straight up 4 o'clock. Look for those Oliver Thomas cuts on my Twitter. See you mañana, New Orleans. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.